channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman, and today I'm going to be doing a psychic reading on Shawn Mendes, and this was highly requested as well from some of my viewers, so thank you all so much for tuning in each and every day to my channel and for supporting me on doing these celebrity psychic readings. I am getting to everyone that has been mentioned, but if you do have any suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you exactly what I see for Shawn um, for the remainder of 2018 going into 2019. So when I tune into this young man's soul and energy, he is definitely someone who has a beautiful soul. He is an empath. So I just wanted to start off on the topic of empaths because a lot of you out there that are listening to this could probably relate to a lot of the things that Shawn, that has openly, we know that he's spoken about anxiety, having anxiety, something that I've gone through myself as well as a lot of other people in the world. And when you are an empath, your senses are heightened, and there's a higher sensitivity to energies. And so with Shawn, he is a rainbow child. That's what I'm getting. He is definitely someone, a special, unique soul that was brought to Earth for a specific mission, and he's expanding and still growing to complete that mission. One of his missions here on Earth is definitely to provide music, entertainment to people, but also to use his platform, which is something that we're going to see more in the next couple of years of him using his platform to speak out on abuse of the LGBTQ community, abuse, of bullying, things that he's maybe already touched the topics and we've seen him in the media talk about it, but it's going to get, where he becomes more of an advocate for these causes and a lot of different other, causes that are dear to his heart. But he's really, been brought here to use his platform to help others, and he's achieving that. Being so young, he has a clear vision of what he wants to accomplish, and so he's very sensitive. What I see with him is that, with energy, if he's around people, and like when he does his touring or concerts, he would be surrounded by thousands and thousands of people. All that energy in the crowd is something that he would be feeling really deeply as an empath, and it can set him off with anxiety attacks before his show. Because actually, I'm seeing visions where he would be, having like, anxiety attacks like right before a show. And I don't know anything about Shawn Mendes, only that he is, a performer, musician. So this is exactly what I'm getting from Shawn's energy. I also feel like he is in a good place right now where his career is concerned, and I see that he is going to continue to have success in his career. He's just, touched the very tip. It's just like the beginning for him, but he's going to be making more music, in the next couple of years. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes into acting as well, because I feel like it is something that's going to push him out of his comfort zone. He is someone who is rather quite shy. He likes to be around his family or his friends, but when it comes down to like being on, on set, or like for a video shoot, or just being for filming a music video, I feel like there's a lot of nervous energy that would be surrounding him, and he would just feel kind of, out of place, and not feel like, he wants to be inside of, in front of the camera all the time. But I do feel that there is going to be some turning points and shifts where he is actually going to overcome his anxiety and actually maintain it, and get a better grasp of it. The reason that he would be, when you are an empath and you're going through a spiritual awakening, which I feel that's what's happening to Shawn, the soul is ultimately like being reborn, and in essence, it's growing, and it's acclimating towards your soul path, your true soul path, and your higher self. When all of that culminates together, it brings the soul to the body, the physical body that we have. It causes different symptoms, and it can cause, anxiety attacks, panic attacks, palpitations, emotionally just crying, ups and downs. It's not a pleasant process. And what I get with Shawn is that that's something that he would be going through now, being so young, because it's preparing him for what is to come, to handle things a lot more, with a lot more certainty, and just definitely, handling things from a perspective that is is void of any judgment and towards others, and just, he has a good soul. He's a pure soul. So what I get right now with him on his love life and his personal life would be more of heartbreak. I feel like he feels kind of lonely when it comes to love, and I feel like he is wanting to, maybe he thinks about, having someone to date or someone to love, but it's something that scares him a little bit, being in a relationship. But he definitely is something that is on his mind. But I do get, like, right now, that there is a lot of heartbreak around him. So either he's, been rejected in some kind of way, but he needs to understand that any rejection is just a redirection of the universe. So anyone that he would have been talking to and would have, been, it would have ended, or he just feels like they're not really, vibing, it's just a redirection from the universe, and he needs to just be patient. And that, message is very strong, and it can be something that resonates with a lot of you out there. If you have a crush on someone, or you are having feelings towards someone, and maybe you can't verbalize them yet, or perhaps you can verbalize them, but you don't think it's the right time. If you're going through something like that, just know that if when it's the right time, you will know, and you'll get through that. And that's kind of like the feelings that I get with him, is that he feels rejected, and that may close him off and make it a little more difficult to trust, his feelings that he is having, being that he's so young, going into a relationship. It's definitely something that he is definitely, wanting to consider. And he's at a very young age still, so he's still growing and still maturing. So there's a transformation. I also get that, any negative vibes that are sent his way, eventually, they're just going to dissipate. So he just needs to stay very strong and know, that's going to happen. I also get, where it comes to his friendships, in his personal life, that he could be, betrayed by some of his friends, some of the people that he would trust and confide in. So it's almost like with Shawn, he would just need to not fully open up 100% on certain things that he's working on, or his ideas behind something. Kind of he needs to trust his intuition when it comes to giving this kind of information out to other people, because some people may not be very receptive to him. And I also feel like he is entering a period in which some of his music may be criticized, or by the people, or judged. And that's with, like, any artist. You can't um, please everyone in the world. Someone's always going to have an opinion with you, and that, is a message that relates to everybody in the world. So with Shawn, he just needs to keep focusing on what he's doing, knowing that he's doing the right thing. He's experimenting with different musics, and the music style that he is adopted for his latest album is definitely, something that is, part of his life path. But I feel like he is not 110% happy with the latest album, as far as some of the music that's on there. Yes, he would have had some, but I feel like since he's so young, the management company may have, kind of stepped in and really had more of a direction. But I feel like with the next album that he puts out, he's definitely going to have more creative control, and actually have more of a say of the type of music and sound that he's wanting. More acoustic, more raw, more, stripped back, and not too much production. That's what I'm getting for his next album. But like I said, he just released an album, I believe it was this year, just like a month or two ago. So, but the next album that he would have, which would come out either in 2019 or 2020, probably 2020, but again, anywhere between 2019 and 2020. But I'm getting 2020 for some reason. It will be, something that's a little bit more to his liking. But behind all the sadness and everything else, I see that, he's definitely going to continue to have happiness. He has periods of happiness, but I also feel like he is kind of in shock, and surprised that everything is, turning into a big, um, big blessings in his life that are manifesting right now. And it kind of seems sometimes like it's too good to be true. I do get that, he would have some best friends that are, also singers like Taylor Swift, and other, that he would have confided secrets about himself, people that he would trust as a confidant. So there are things, revelations that I feel about him that we are going to see in the next couple of years. I feel like right now he's not at a comfortable place to kind of make these revelations. And since I do respect his privacy, and I won't say exactly what they are, but a lot of I just will say there's been a lot of speculation about certain, aspects of him, and that's something, that definitely will come out in the future when it is ready and it's time, and it won't be a shock either to a lot of people, because the people who tune in that are empaths, or that know, that are have some abilities, can tune into Shawn and just tell, from his energy, that he is a beautiful soul, and definitely is going to just continue to shine and inspire people. So that's definitely something that's going on. I do also get that there would be between him and a male figure, that there is almost like this feeling of like he's chasing, um, fighting, not chasing, but fighting almost, but not like fighting physically, but more verbally and with thoughts, about, certain situations. This could be almost like someone in his team, not necessarily management, but someone in his production, his publicist, or something is going on where there's almost like, um, someone that is kind of like throwing shade at him, but they're supposed to be on his team to help him. But it's going to be something like new management is going to be needed at some point. I also feel like since he's so young, that some of the people that he's surrounded with could be taking advantage of his money. And I know that he may have, his family, his mom, or other people that are good, at kind of guiding him, but he's so young, and I think they take him for granted sometimes when it comes to him being so young, that he wouldn't, necessarily know about his finances. But this is something he just needs to keep an eye on, and, really ask, like I said, for some of the other readings that I've done, a lot of these celebrities just trust someone that does the financials or the accountant for them, but he really needs to pay attention to what is going on, because I feel like there's money that is being taken from him, and it's a serious matter when you really think about it, um, for his future. And so that's just something that he needs to have a, a personal discussion, and really watch that, in the next, um, 2 years. Um, I also get that there are a lot of different, awards that he will be winning this coming year and going into 2020. These will be musical awards, possibly a Grammy, but, definitely musical awards that I would be getting, that he will be getting, that I see. And I also get that he will be entering a good relationship. But this feels more in line with 2019, almost like mid, anywhere between here and 2019. But I want to say it feels like mid 2019 when he starts entering into a relationship that seems to be very healthy for him, and kind of helps him grow and get into the next phase of his life. So he definitely has a lot of positive things that are happening for him, and just so many blessings that are happening. And I also see him going into modeling too. Not like he's gonna, have a modeling career, but he will, like other celebrities, for Versace, or, Prada, he's gonna be doing a lot of that, representing brands and being sponsored in that area. But I ultimately see that, in 2019, he's going to reach a point where he just feels very stressed out, and he just needs some time to himself. He's been going, going, going. I think since he's so young, he has so much stamina that, sometimes the people around him that are guiding him, this is like a well-oiled machine, and they just keep it going, 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 and they forget about Shawn being, human, and that he needs some rest, and he needs time for himself. So I feel like in 2019, there is going to be a brief period where he kind of takes a hiatus, just to get his creative, going, his creative mind, and also to take a breather. He needs the rest. Physically, I feel like there's exhaustion, but he will be feeling a little lonely in 2019 for a small period of time. This doesn't have to do anything with his relationship that I see going in, him going into. This is more with his career and him needing some downtime for himself. But ultimately, yeah, Shawn is definitely a beautiful soul, and like I said, he's going to be someone who inspires a lot of people and continues to inspire them throughout his musical career. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in. If you did like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. And if you would like to set up a private reading with me, you can go to my website. That's www.raymondguzman.net/shop. Blessings and love and light. Have an amazing day.